Hello students, in this video we are going to start chapter 10 circles. Students, we come across many objects of daily use which are the round. For example, wheels, clocks and coins are based on circles. In the previous classes we have learned some of the properties that is related to the circle without proof. In this chapter, we shall study those theorems by providing proof of them. Before doing so, let's first deal with some important terms and the facts related to the circle. In this chapter, we will discuss circle and its related terms, angles subtended by a chord at a point perpendicular from the center to a chord, circle through 3 points, equal chord and their distance from the center, angles subtended by an arc of a circle, cyclic quadrilaters, and the last what we conclude. The first, what is a circle? A circle is a collection of all those points in a plane which are at the constant distance from a given fixed point in a plane is called a circle. The fixed point is called the center of the circle and the constant distance is called the radius of the circle. In the adjoining figure, you can say that OP is radius of the circle, O is a center, AB, which is the longest chord which is a pass through the center, is called the diameter. So AB is a diameter and the PQ is any chord of the circle. Now we will discuss radius, diameter, center, chord, arc and sector. What is a radius? The line segment joining the center and any point on the circle is also called a radius of the circle. Diameter is a 2 times the radius, or we can say that radius is a double of the diameter is a double of the radius. The fixed point is called the center of the circle. If we take 2 points P and Q on a circle, then the line segment PQ is called the chord of the circle. A piece of the circle between 2 points is called an arc. The region between an arc and the 2 radii joining the center to the end points of the arc is called the sector. Next is the most important, angle subtended by a chord at a point. Let's discuss. We take a line segment PQ and a point R not on the line containing PQ. You can see in the first figure, join PR and QR. Then angle PRQ is called the angle subtended by the line segment PQ at the point R. See in the second figure, POQ is the angle subtended by the chord PQ at the center O, and angle PRQ and angle PSQ are respectively the angle subtended by PQ at the points R and S on the major and the minor arc PQ. Now we shall study some important theorems related to the circles by providing proof concept-wise. Let's study this concept one by one. So the first theorem is the equal chord of the circle subtended equal angle at the center. Let's start the proof. We are given two equal chord AB and CD. You can see in the joining figure of a circle with the center O. And we have to prove that angle AOB is equal to angle COD. For that, we have taken two triangles in triangle AOB and triangle COD. In triangle AOB and the triangle COD, see OA and OC. both are equal because the both are the radii of the circle. OB and OD are equal. Same, both are the radii of the circle. AB is equal to CD. Both are the equal chord of the circle. So in this triangle, three things are equal, three sides are equal. So by the SSS congruency criteria, the both triangle are congruent. And by the CPCT is meaning is that congruence part of the congruence triangle are always equal. So angle AOB is equal to angle COD. So hence prove that equal chord of the circle subtend equal angle at the center. Now theorem 2. If the angles subtended by the chords of the circle at the center are equal, then chords are equal. This is a converse of the first theorem. Now next is the perpendicular from the center to the chord. Let there be a circle with O as a center. You can see in the figure, and let A be one of its chord. Draw a perpendicular through O, cutting AB at M. Then angle OMA is equal to OMB. Both are is equal to 90 degree, or OM is a perpendicular to AB, or you can say that the length of AM is equal to MB. We conclude that the perpendicular from the center of a circle to the chord bisect the chord. Next, theorem 3. The line drawn through the center of the circle to the bisect chord is perpendicular to the chord. You can see in the figure, let AB be chord of the circle with the center O, and O is adjoining to the midpoint M of the AB. M is the midpoint of chord AB. We have to prove that OM is perpendicular to AM. Then for that, we have to join OA and OB. In this theorem, we have to prove that angle OMA and angle OMB is equal to 90 degree. So see in the triangle OAM and triangle OMB. See OA and OB are equal. Both are the radii of the circle. AM is equal to MB because these are the perpendicular and the bisect the chord. OM in the both triangle are common. In two triangles, three things are equal, three sides are equal. By the SSS criteria, both triangle are congruent. So triangle OAM is a congruent to triangle OMB. So the by CPCT, angle OMA is equal to OMB. Both are equal. So both are 90 degree. Now next is circle through 3 points. See the adjoining figure. Infinite number of the circle can be drawn through 1 or 2 points. You can see in the figure 1 and figure 2. See figure 1 and figure 2. Infinite number of circle can be drawn through 1 or 2 points. In case there are 3 collinear points. Collinear point is meaning is that the points lie on the same line. Then the circle can be drawn, but the third point will be lie outside the circle. You can see in third figure. Right? Now next is let's take the 3 point A, B and C. You can see in the fourth figure which are not on the same line. Now for that, draw the perpendicular bisector of AB and BC. PQ and next figure you can see that the PQ and RS respectively are the perpendicular of AB and the BC. Let these perpendicular bisect intersect at the point O. You can see that the last figure. Now we can conclude that O lies on the perpendicular bisector PQ of AB. We have OA is equal to OB. Similarly, as O lies on the perpendicular bisector RS of BC, then we get OB is equal to OC. So OA is equal to OB is equal to OC, which means that the point A, B and C are at the equal distance from the point O. So we conclude that there is only one and only one circle passing through the three given non-Cornelian points. Now next is the equal chords and their distance from the center. Let AB a line and the PB a point. Since there are in a finite number of points on a line, if we joining this point to P, we'll get infinite many line segment PL1. When we joining this point to the with this point, then we get PL1, PL2, PM, PL3, PL4, etc. Out of these line segment, the perpendicular from P to AB, the namely PM will be the least. So we conclude that the length of the perpendicular from the point to the line is the distance of the line from the point. Now the next, theorem 4. We have to prove that equal chord of a circle are equidistant from the center. So let's start proof. Take a circle of any radius. Draw two equal chords AB and the CD of it and also the perpendicular OM and ON on them from the center. Divide the figure into two, or that D falls on B and the C falls on A. We observe that O lies on the crease and the N falls on M. Therefore, OM is equal to ON. Chords equidistant from the center of the circle are equal in length. The theorem 5 is the converse of the theorem 4. Next is angle subtended by an arc of a circle. The endpoints of a chord other than the diameter of the circle cut it into two arcs, one major and other minor. If we take two equal chords, they are more than just equal in length, they are congruent in the sense that if one arc is put on the other without bending or twisting, one superimposes the other completely. We can verify this fact by cutting the arc corresponding to the chord CD from the circle along CD and put it on the corresponding arc made by the equal chord AB. We will find that the arc CD superimposes the arc AB completely. This shows that the equal chords make congruent arc, and the conversely, congruent arcs make equal chords of a circle. So we conclude that if two chords of a circle are equal, then their corresponding arcs are congruent, and conversely, if two arcs are congruent, then their corresponding chords are equal. The angle subtended by an arc at the center is defined to be angle subtended by the corresponding chord at the center in the sense that the minor arc subtended the angle and the major arc subtending the reflex angle. The angle subtended by the minor arc PQ at O, you can see in the figure, is angle POQ. Theorem 6. This is a very important theorem. The angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by its at any point on the remaining part of the circle. This theorem is also called a degree measure theorem. Let's start the proof. Given an arc PQ of the circle, subtended angle POQ at the center O and PAQ at the point A on the remaining part of the circle. You can see in the figure. Consider the three different cases arc PQ is minor. So you can see in the figure 1. Arc PQ is a semicircle. You can see in the figure 2. And in arc PQ is a major. You can see in the figure 3. Let's begin with joining AO and the extending it to the point B. In all the cases, angle BOQ is equal to angle OAQ plus angle AQO because of exterior angle property. By the exterior angle property, the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles. Now, next, in triangle OAQ, OA is equal to OQ because they are the radii of the circle. So, angle OAQ is equal to angle OQA because the equal sides having the opposite angles are equal. So, angle BOQ is a double of angle OAQ. This is the first equation. Similarly, angle BOP is a double of the angle OAP. This is the second equation. When we adding first and second, then we get angle BOP plus angle BOQ, that is equal to the 2 into angle AOP plus angle AOQ. See, these two angles is a sum of angle PAQ. So, angle POQ, that is a double of angle POQ. This is a third. This is a proof that angle POQ is double of angle PAQ. This shows that the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it any point on the remaining part of the circle. Theorem 7. We have to prove that the angles in the same segment of the circle are equal. So let's start the proof. According to the theorem 6, you can see that angle PAQ, that is the half of angle BOQ. So if angle BOQ is a 180, then angle PAQ is equal to 90 degree. If we take any other point C on the semicircle again, we get the angle PCQ, that is equal to 90. You can see in the figure. So angle PAQ and angle PCQ, that is equal to, both are is equal to 90 degree. So angle POQ is equal to the double of angle PCQ and POQ is also double of the angle PAQ. So both are equal. Angle PCQ is equal to angle PAQ. Next is theorem 8. If a line segment joining two points subtended equal angles at the two other points laying on the same side of the line containing the line segment, the 4 points lies on the circle. This theorem 8 is the converse of the theorem 7. Now next is the cyclic quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral ABCD is called a cyclic if all the 4 vertices of it lie on a circle. If we observe that these cyclic quadrilateral, we find that angle A plus angle C is equal to 180 and angle B plus angle D is equal to 180, neglecting the error in measurement. So we conclude that the sum of the either pair of the opposite angle of a cyclic quadrilateral is a 180. So in the converse of this, we conclude that if the sum of the pair of opposite angle of a quadrilateral is 180, then quadrilateral is cyclic. So what we conclude that a circle is a collection of all points in a plane which are the equidistant from a fixed point in the plane. Equal chord of the circle, subtended equal angle at the center. If the angles subtended by the two chords of the circle at the center are equal, then chords are equal. The perpendicular from the center of the circle to the chord bisect the chord. The line drawn through the center of the circle to bisect a chord is perpendicular to the chord. There is only and only one circle passing through three non-collinear points. Next is the equal chord of the circle are equidistant from the center. Chords equidistant from the center of a circle are equal. If two arcs of the circle are congruent, then their corresponding chords are equal, and conversely, if the two chords of the circle are equal, then their corresponding arcs are congruent. Congruent arcs of circle subtended equal angles at the center. The angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by at any point on the remaining part of the circle. Next is angles in the same segment of the circle are equal. Angle in a semicircle is a right angle. If a line segment joining two points subtended equal angle at the two other points laying on the same side of the line containing the line segment, the 4 points lies on the circle. The sum of either pair of the opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is 180. If a sum of pair of opposite angle of a quadrilateral is 180, then quadrilateral is cyclic. So, student, this is all about of this introduction of chapter circle. Next video we will start the exercise. Till then, bye bye.